The day has finally arrived, guys. Today I will be completely obliterating over 750,000 season tokens, most of them purchased through, bundles and that stuff, and some of my close to 120,000 tokens in order to accomplish the following goals after opening Burst of the Speed packs. A 6-star Koenigsegg CCXR, a 6-star Countach, and a 6-star Jaguar XJR. The problem, well, all that packs were supposed to be in the same pack, but now that cards were changed, so I will have to spend even more in order to max them out. Luckily, I think I have more than enough resources to do so with no further delay, let's get into it. I will be honest, guys, now I kinda feel like Vince McMahon in that clip where he smells money and that stuff, just that instead of money I have a ton of currencies of all kinds. Credits to upgrade my cars? Check. Season tokens to grab more blueprints than normal packs? Check. Normal tokens in case I run out of season tokens? Check. I also completed all the rewards from the Burst of Speed stages, so I can say that I think there is not a single season token I could get from the game at this moment. The truth, however, is that I will have to open an insane amount of packs, and since the original recording clip is 28 minutes long, I will speed up some parts in order to not to make a super long video. If you want to appreciate my drops better, I uploaded the video, the wall unedited clip, as a separate video which you can see in this video description. But now let's talk a bit about the packs while you appreciate this 4K visual masterpiece of me splurging my resources as if they were credits. The drops, as you will see, are not very good. If you decide to spend season tokens in the Burst of Speed packs, I have something important to tell you. From now on, it will take you at least 550,000 season tokens to max all the cars from a single Burst of Speed car. So, if you would like to max all the cars within the 2 packs, you will have to waste over 1 million season tokens, and this is a lot if you weren't aware already. So, based on what I could see, at first I got a moderate amount of tech rules, CCXR and Countach blueprints, a bit of everything properly mixed, but as I kept wasting more and more and storing up both my CCXR and Countach, since my tech rules was already golden, I realized that the game started to give me worse and worse drops, especially dropping more tech rules blueprints than any other of the 2 cars, which kinda frustrated me, one of the major reasons of why I hate multipacks, because multiple featured items lead to sometimes horrible scenarios, as it's the case in this video. But hey, don't worry, because it's about to get way worse. The funny thing is that the season tokens pack kinda gives you the feeling that you are making some kinds of faster progression, since every time you get blueprints from a car, you get 5 and not 4, as it will be the case for the normal token packs. But if you only get more and more tech rules blueprints, it really starts to be annoying. As I kept seeing my season tokens slowly disappear between mountains of completely useless trade coins, I could only start thinking about the game as a whole. So let's go with the philosophy section. A few days ago, I saw a video from a Spanish YouTuber who explained how the NFTs bubble exploded and how the people basically speculated with them, hoping to get some future benefits from them. And dang, it kinda reminded me of Asphalt 9, because if you think a bit about it, every time you get a new car, doesn't matter if it's with money or not, you effectively lose your time or money for something that is only backed as Gameloft server. Which is even worse considering that you can't make any money back from the cars you obtain, except in my case where, I kinda recover something from YouTube, but it's not that much since at the end I reinvest most of what I earn in YouTube in the game, so I can keep providing you guys with more content. So in a nutshell, all that thinking about the futility of things that we often value too much given their relatively high chances of disappearing made me make a final decision about this game and my wallet relation with it. As many of you guys may know, the next Raid Syndicate car will be the Devil 16 prototype, which is expected to be the Koenigsegg Jaguar Absolute from the China version. On my review about the Absolute, I say that whoever gets to own the Absolute could consider themselves as player who effectively ended up the game, as no car would ever get close to the Absolute in terms of overall performance, so I don't really think that the same situation will happen with the Devil 16. Once it arrives to Asphalt 9, the next update. So where does that lead to us? Well, I think I have invested enough through all these years, first on Asphalt 8 and then on Asphalt 9. So if I get the chance to completely gold max the Devil 16, I will drastically reduce my spending on this game, as I consider that owning a gold max Devil 16 will set a different level and well, will likely be the best car ever released too, so I could consider the game as finished from my perspective. Of course, this doesn't mean that I will stop playing, it's just that instead of gold max most of the cars, I will just spend on the legend passes and maybe some event passes, but that's it. That way I think will be the best possible ending of my journey as a whale in this game, but of course only time will say. Because if at the end Gameloft releases the Devil 16 as a car with bad performance, of course I will just, skip it. The more you think about it, the more sense it makes. Let me explain. Let's imagine that Gameloft decides to punch the table and brings the Devil 16 as a king of the game in the global version. If it's completely overpowered, it would make no sense to be available through a special event, as more people will get the chance to unlock it, and the game will end up being kinda imbalanced. However, if they release it through a drive syndicate, only those who spend a ton will get the chance to max the car, and we all know that not everyone can afford such a high economic effort. Also, not all whales are extremely skilled players, so it wouldn't hurt the game that much if they get the car golden. But what about the abusers, you may be wondering? Well, that's actually the best part, in my honest opinion, because such a broken car will tempt a lot of the people that usually abuse to do so. But those who abuse will eventually lose their devils, just like it happened with the previous Drive Syndicate with the Koenigsegg CCXR9, with the additional bonus that this time could lead to a permanent ban instead of just a 7 days one. That's why it's great, because it allows the game to just get rid of all the abusers, as well as guarantees that not everyone will max out the car and then, completely obliterate the game. But, of course, I have to be realistic, because my plan is to upgrade all the required cars in the Drive Syndicate to the bare minimum, and once I get to the last stages where the Devil will be required, I will go in a shopping spree which hopefully will give me the chance to gold max the Devil at best, or just max it at worst. One way or another will be an extremely expensive to get all the epic import pads, unless Gameloft ends up, being some kind of merciful, which I don't count that in, so it's better to be pessimistic and end up surprised rather than being optimistic and facing a 7 meters concrete wall. I'm aware that very few people will do that, and I will try to do at the Drive Syndicate 8, but for me it's kinda symbolic, because the last big shopping spree of my Asphalt history shall be epic. Unless, of course, that they mess up the Devil 16 performance. Then, in that case, of course, I will just, skip it. Alright, so back at the bars of speed, I already realized that I would not have enough season tokens to max the XJR9 from the season tokens packs as well, so I decided to grab some season tokens packs, then I kept a few season tokens aside just in case, and then just start dumping my tokens. It was a weird feeling because it's been a really long time since I didn't go below 100,000 normal tokens, but I guess it was just a matter of time to waste them all, because I'm not planning to waste on anything else during this update, and thus I could not get extra 300 blueprints from spending real money in bundles, so I will have to dump more tokens to max the 300 plus out. I really hope I will get the chance to max the 300 plus with all the tokens I will end up with, because wow, the XJR9 really took a huge bite of my token savings due to some bad packs and that stuff. But I guess that at this point it's your turn, guys. What do you think of this world bars of speed as a whole? Did you invest any tokens or season tokens in the packs? Well, let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe and to drop your like if you enjoyed seeing me dumping my savings, tokens and that stuff. And I will see you really soon as usual with much more Asphalt 9 content. Goodbye, guys.
And to you personally. Thank you.
My body, my body, feel it in my body.